Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm actually behind the camera and I'm doing makeup on my sister. Now she's going out tonight, she wanted me to do her makeup and I thought this would be a perfect video opportunity. Now this is the finished look. I've gone for a wide variety of different products that I have and haven't used before in my videos. So if you want to know how I've achieved this look and you can really get a feel of how I've done it on somebody else, then keep watching and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to start off with the Benefit Porefessional. Now this isn't a product that I'm particularly bothered about and I don't really use it, but my sister really likes it, and to be honest it does give like a really nice finish to the skin, and I think it's just nice to like have a nice texture to your skin before you work foundation into it. So I'm using that as a primer and then I'll go on to foundation. So like in my previous video, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation. This is in the colour Soft Beige and I'm using this as a kind of light base to work into the skin. So personally for me this is quite a light coverage. I think just because I'm used to the MAC foundation, for me this is a kind of everyday foundation, like I said in my previous video, but I just quite like the combination of this and the MAC together because I find that this is a bit of a softer colour and the MAC's a bit of a heavier, darker colour for a night out, so I quite like having the two together. So once that base is on, I'm just going to put a bit of the MAC Studio Fix on the top for just that kind of thicker going out coverage. Just one key thing is just to work it really into the neck. The more you work the product into the skin, the longer it's going to, one, stay on, and two, the nicer it will look. You don't want any patches or any orange parts, so I think this step is pretty key. And I'm used to using the Real Techniques brush to just apply this to the under eyes. I'm then using the Real Techniques blending brush just to buff that all out. Usually they would say to do this step after your eyeshadow, but I just find with the Naked palette, which I'll be using today, it literally has no fall down, so that part doesn't need to be done really, and I feel like you can get a better feel for your makeup if you do your whole face first and then move on to the eyes and the eyebrows and lips, etc. So just blending that all in. We're going to add the powder, the MAC powder on the top anyway, so that will help set it and keep it all in place and not look too wet. Bronzer, I always use the Hoola Benefit, and I know you do as well. So just lightly colour that and tap it on the side of the box, I'd say, just like this, because you do get a lot of powder on there and you really don't need too much of the product. And I'm just slowly brushing that in, having quite a concentrated part on this top part of the cheekbone and then blending it down just so you get that real dark patch here on the other side. Real concentrated part here and then blending it down, and this Hoola works really nice with the MAC Mineralize skin finish. So I may add a bit more of this on at the end, but for now just adding a bit to the forehead and then down the sides of the nose just to add that contouring feel. applying just a brush a bit under the neck as well, just to help blend out that foundation under the neck and just to define the jaw line as well. So for eyebrows, I'm using the Sleek palette. The last time I used this was in my eyebrow tutorial, and I honestly think that this is just such a brilliant dupe and a brilliant high street version of the Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I do have as well and I do use, but I think for £6, I think it is £6 or £7, you just can't go wrong with this. So I'm just really elongating them to the side as well, because you want them to just match up to the corner of the eyelid. And then I'm just lightly feathering the brush through the start of the brows here, so you can have that kind of gradient effect where they're darker towards the end and a bit lighter in the middle. Now I've got the main eyebrows on, they do look quite dark, but that is because we've got no eye makeup on the eyes at all. But what I've done first is I've got a bit of concealer on the eyebrows just as kind of base if you don't have any eyeshadow primer. I do have some Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, but I just find that this works just as well, and it gives a bit of a highlighted base as well to the lid. And I'm just applying the colour Limit to the whole mobile lid. Now I think this is a really nice colour, it's in the Naked 3 palette. I think it really suits blonde hair, and I'm just applying that to both lids. I'm just going to slowly use the brush to just work it up a bit higher as well, just so it's not too much of a harsh line and it's nice and blended up to the top of the eyelid. Now I'm going to take the other end of the brush and I'm going to use the colour Nuna, and I'm just going to exaggerate where the crease of the lid is, and I'm just making it a bit higher up than it is to make the eyes look bigger. Just applying that lightly onto the top there, and then we'll blend that out. And just applying a little bit extra into the corner V as well, just to really emphasise that corner. Done that, I'm just going to use a fat blending brush and just blend that all in, making sure there's no harsh lines. It's nice and blended out. Then with my finger I'm just going to add the colour Strange just a little bit to under the brow, just to really highlight that part. It's almost got a bit of a shimmer to it as well. That's just going to add a bit of highlight to the top of the lid. Then once I've done that, I'll go over and do it on the other lid. So once both of the top lids are done, I'm going to use the bottom end, the thinner end, and use the colour Mugshot, and I'm just going to put that onto the lower lash line. Depending on how smoky you want this look to be, you can take this down as far as you want, or keep it quite high up like I'm doing now. I'm just putting that onto both eyes, and it's got this really nice shimmer to it as well, which comes across really nicely, and it really complements the MAC highlighter actually. And I'm just dragging it up slightly as well, as if it were a wing with liner, and just do the same on this one. And then because I don't want to do her mascara, I'm just going to get her to apply her mascara now. Now she's added one layer of mascara to the lashes. One thing I would say is if you don't want to wear fake eyelashes, add a layer of mascara to the eyelashes, do the rest of your makeup, and then come back to them once they're dry and add another layer of the mascara. Just because then they'll be a lot thicker and they get a real load of volume as well. Next I'm going to head onto the lips, and I'm just using the MaxFactor Colour Elixir Lip Liner in the colour Brown and Bold, and I am literally going to use the tiniest amount of this because she doesn't like a heavy kind of lip look. So I'm just going to really lightly apply this, just because I think with a lip liner, even just the slightest amount can just really neaten up lipstick. Because if you don't use this, some lipsticks have a tendency to run from the outside of the lid and the lip, sorry, and I just think it's really important, even if you're just going to use the tiniest amount, to add a little bit of that. Once you're happy with that, I'm moving on to the MAC Velvet Teddy. I know this is a very popular lipstick. I personally don't like it on myself, but I really do think it suits my sister, and I'm just going to lightly add this to the lips, and now you will realise why I've used quite a dark brown lip liner, because it just really makes the lips look a lot bigger and stops this bottom part running past the lip. So just adding this lightly now. So this is the finished look. I've gone for a kind of purpley dark smoky eye eyebrows and the kind of Kylie Jenner MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please subscribe to my channel, and I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in my next video.